Hi guys, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Well, I've just put a whole bunch of beautiful egg recipes together and I know you're gonna love them. How to poach the perfect eggs. Super silky, gorgeous eggs every time. The only way to poach the perfect egg is if you have really, really fresh eggs. End of story. When it gets to the shopping, don't go to the front, go to the back and get your eggs. Even if you have to knock them all over, go to the back because they're going to be the freshest ones. Bring your water to the boil. That means that there's bubbles. Take it off so they subside. Look at the water. There's no bubbles here, guys. It's just poaching. Poaching is not boiling. Boiling will smash the eggs all around. Poached egg, gentle. My egg, you crack it into there and you just plop it in. And if you have lovely, fresh eggs, you're going to win most of the time. Some people say, put some vinegar in the water. Really? Why? Yes, it does firm up the egg, but it tastes like vinegar. So I would suggest don't bother. As far as cooking is concerned, roughly around 3 minutes is going to give you a softish egg. Then it's down to you to use your noddle. So get in there. So I'm just touching that. So you want it to kind of feel like a lovely, fresh, springy mozzarella. A nice little poached egg. It's cooked to perfection. So there you go, a basic poached egg on toast. If you haven't got fresh eggs, I do have a few little tips. First up, if you spin your spoon around in the pan like this, and then you get your egg and plop it in the middle, if you see, the inertia of that water's wrapping it around the yolk. So while we cook that, I've got some lovely asparagus here. Now I've dressed it with a little oil, a pinch of salt, a little lemon juice. If you look in here now, kind of cooking quite nicely. You can see how it's just wrapped around. So let's have a little look here. Let's bring that up. You can see it's more pouchy now. So look, on the asparagus, I'm just going to season it with a little salt, a little pepper. Of course, just stabbing it a little bit so it oozes. And I'm just going to shave some lovely bits of Parmesan over the top like that. This product. Hi guys, we're going to make the most amazing breakfast tortillas. They are so quick, so delicious. It's an amazing breakfast, brunch or lunch. Lovely eggs, little bombs of manchego cheese, soft tortillas, avocado, lime, coriander, chili sauce. It's going to be great. Now this recipe comes from this book, Jamie's America. It's one of my favorites. I think the recipes are absolutely incredible. And in this recipe, of course, we're in LA. We're in East LA with the Mexican communities. I spent a lot of time in East LA. On different jobs, working in schools and different districts. Met some amazing people. This tortilla is a homage to them. It's so simple. I love making this for like 2 to 4 people. I get a bunch of plates and I just put a couple of things in the middle of the table. First up, let's just slice up some tomatoes, salt, pepper, coriander leaves, and lime, a few fresh chilies. So that's the tomato part. Then we're going to go on to the avocado part. Now avocado can, depending on the variety, start oxidizing and discoloring. And a thing that will stop that is citrus, especially lime. So just a little squeeze of lime juice, a light seasoning. You can finely slice it if you want. And then you can just push it down just to make it look nice. I'm going to use some wheat tortillas here. Reheat these. I've got a little plancha here, or in a dry pan, non-stick. I don't want them crispy, I just want them bendy and warm. Really important. Pan on to a medium-high heat. We're going to do some eggs. We're going to add spring onions or scallions. I saw variations of these eggs in the States and with the Mexican communities. I really love this method. Manchego cheese. So I'm just going to grate about a heaped tablespoon. That's for seasoning. If you wanted to, you could just get your knife and do little nuggets of manchego and they won't fully melt completely until you've finished. So you get little bombs of cheese in your scrambled egg. These are eggs from my chickens. You can see they're all different sizes and that's what happens when you've got chickens because they're different ages. 6 eggs will probably be enough for 4 people actually. Having a few ribbons of yolk and the white is quite nice. So that kind of loose whipping like that is absolutely cool. I'm going to use just a tablespoon of oil and just a little bit of butter. In we go with the eggs. right? Now, I love to use a spatula for this, really important. There's these lovely little sheets in here. So literally, I'm gonna take it off the heat now because I'm reading the temperature and I don't want to overcook it. So we want sheets and undercooked. If it's cooked in the pan, it will be overcooked in your mouth and in the plate. In with the spring onions. So I'm just folding these sheets over. Look at the texture. That's what we want, really loose eggs. We haven't kind of cooked the proteins so they're ridiculously firm. And it's like, you know, it's texturally incredible with those little bombs of manchego and the seasoning and the flavor. You will never regret cooking eggs like this. So let's plate one up. I've just warmed up a tortilla on one side. It's not crispy, it's nice and bendy. I'm then gonna get some of these beautiful tomatoes, lime juice, coriander, seasoning, beautiful, beautiful colors, avocado. And then we've got these amazing eggs. And this is all about texture, layers, flavors. Look at that. The homemade chili sauce comes out. This one is next level. And then what I might do is finish it just with a little manchego over the top. Long strokes. And look at those colors, guys. That just reminds me of my time in America with my mate Rigo in East LA. Absolutely gorgeous. Simple baked eggs, a brilliant alternative to your usual fried, scrambled or poached eggs. It's always nice to have another egg recipe, they're so quick. And it's a really nice sort of thing just to kind of get you into that sort of breakfast, weekend, brunch kind of vibe. And what I'm gonna do is just show you the basic preparation. So look, first up, get yourself a little dish. Get some butter and just rub it around the edge. This is for a straight baked coddled egg. Now, of course, you can season it, but that also means you could put spice in it. Could be some curry powder, think kind of like Indian eggs, or remove that. You could have like truffles if you're in France, a little bit posh. So essentially, rub it with butter and then get your eggs and you bake it. Cook it pretty much as you would any other egg that you like. If you like it cooked through, cook it through. If you like it a little soft, cook it soft. So you can whack these in the oven and you can keep an eye on them and you can just kind of like touch them and see how they're doing. But this is your basic coddled egg. This one, Santi, we can just whack that straight in the oven. If you want, you can get a little bit more adventurous. So what does that mean? Well, you could use things like avocado. You could use things like cherry tomatoes. You could use things like mozzarella. So, okay, let's do an Italian coddled egg. Let's do that. So I'm gonna grab a nice dish. We're not gonna use butter, we use olive oil. We'll have a little rub up. Salt and pepper again, nice. Then we're gonna go some lovely eggs. On the story of eggs, of course, you could have beautiful goose eggs, chicken eggs. You can use the little quail eggs, the ones down here, really, really nice. These are duck eggs here. Look at the size of those, beautiful. So these will take about 4 minutes, 5 minutes in the oven. And then what I wanna do is just pair these up with the classic combo, right? So beautiful cherry tomatoes. We'll cut those in half. So the eggs are only gonna cook for like, let's say 4 minutes. So you need to think about that when you're putting anything with it. So the cherry tomatoes, if you think they won't get cooked enough, you can go into quarters. Then mozzarella, that'll probably ooze in 4 minutes, nice. So in we go with the beautiful cherry tomatoes. We can take a little mozzarella and just a little bit, we'll just put little bombs of mozzarella in and around this. But for a Sunday brunch, that in the middle of the table, just heat a ciabatta up, you know, maybe some prosciutto, maybe a little Prosecco. Come on, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, it's the weekend. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what I'm trying to get out of this little session is the idea, instead of frying, scrambling, or poaching eggs, there is other things. And then even simple things like chili. If you like to spice it up a little bit, very, very nice. We'll go in with some olive oil, crack in those eggs, over the top with the chilies, bold, brave. They're not particularly hot, but they look amazing. And then the avocado. So avocado is fantastic cooked. Just slice it up, a little bit of lime juice gives it a fantastic flavor. And that in and around our eggs, beautiful. And literally whack that under the grill until it's cooked to your liking. So these are just ideas, guys. So think about things you like, have fun with it. So we got the first one done from under the grill. Have a little look at that. See the avocado's got some nice colour there. A few bits of coriander over the top. By the way, baked avocado is incredible. Simple coddled egg, nothing else. You can see how elegant that is. We've got our lovely Italian one here with the melting mozzarella, the tomatoes. Finish that with marjoram, just colourful, exciting. Okay, frittata. I've been shown a frittata by nonnas and chefs all around Italy. They have slightly different recipes and ways of doing it. I'm going to kind of bundle everything I've seen and give you what I like to do at home. This is about a bigger, thicker omelette. We want some rise on it, so it's almost a bit more like kind of an omelette cake, okay? I've got some lovely seasonal greens here, chards, kales. I've got some frozen peas here. I just want to wilt some nice greens. So for the kale, it's all washed. I'm just going to rip it up, put it in like this. Swiss chard is fantastic. Tear up the leaves and just snap up the stalks. So look, kale and chard is a lot more robust than spinach. But just in 1 minute, as this heats up, it's going to do more than we need. With the peas, I like to just squash them, right, and crush them. Have a little look in there. You know, getting that colour, getting that kind of mush, getting the sweetness out. What's quite interesting at the moment is a lot of my chefs are kind of scalding and just charring things. And you can see that little bit of char happening now. In the old days, you get told off for that. But in these days, that's considered super fashionable. That's what people want. But it does give a nice little smoky edge. A little season of salt, pepper, olive oil, just to delicately dress it, lemon juice. So just massage that in. Now, because we're doing this for 4 people, you know, I don't know if it's lunch or dinner, but you can kind of, let's say, 2 eggs per person. With this particular dish, one of the things that I saw from the nonnas who was making me a beautiful frittata one day, instead of just beating the eggs until they're really smooth and kind of perfectly beaten, she kind of had it so it was marbled, okay? So you can beat it, but just kind of beat it badly. Okay, so pan on, a little bit of olive oil goes in, shake it around the pan. We go in with the eggs, like that. We're just gonna kind of move it around a little bit. So look, it's kind of like 1/4 cooked. You can see it right there. Then I can go in with my greens that are dressed nicely and just do lovely little bombs of the greens in there. So we're getting the good stuff. And then we're going to go in with our lovely smashed peas in there as well, right? Pushing it in. And then there's some ricotta here. I love ricotta. So this is a lovely delicate cheese. And again, push this into that egg. So then some Parmesan on the top. And then what I like to do is get some herbs like sage, rosemary. I've got some marjoram here. These are really nice. And a lovely little tip, you just put a little bit of oil in there and massage those up. You get incredible flavour from this. And marjoram's a really typical herb used in a really good frittata, especially when they're flowering, they're really beautiful. And then into the oven we go. So, I'm going to do a nice little thing to go with it. 6 olives and a chilli will be more than enough. I'm just going to squeeze the pip out of the olives. We're going to make a nice little sort of salsa, chili, olives, mint. Okay, so I've got all the pips out. Very simple. I'm going to finely slice the red chili. Let's get some black olives. We can just kind of roughly chop these into like chunks. Beautiful. Love mint. So just finely chop that. And this will make the most basic, simple salsa on the planet. Just mix it up in here with a tiny bit of lovely oil to transmit the flavours. About 2 tablespoons will do. Let's go lemon juice to freshen it up. The frittata will be done now. This salsa is nice. Right, let's have a little look at this bad boy. That, my friends, is what we're getting. You can see it's puffed up. What's quite nice is I love the way the edges here get almost like rice paper, really crackly. You know, it is cooked through, but we haven't cooked the life out of it. Just gonna run a palette knife around the edge, just very lightly. You can just turn it out, which is very simple. I like to see what's going on. I've got some lovely dressed pea shoots here, olive and chili mint salsa going on top. This is a lovely little dinner, lunch, brunch. So that's it really, guys. That is one of my many expressions of a frittata. The Italians do such a good job of it. Let's have a little try. I really love the fact that we've bigged up the greens and dressed them. The little salsa really makes it work gorgeous. I love the kind of chunks of really fresh ricotta and then that lovely hum of parmesan and the marbled eggs. Really nice, a much firmer omelette, but very, very nice. So there you go, the frittata.
Hi guys, it's me Buddy Oliver, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect scrambled eggs. So first, you need to cut some bread. Make sure you use the length of the knife and keep it nice and straight. Right, now I'm going to cut it in half and put it in my toaster. Now we can move on to the eggs. Dad taught me a trick how to get the shell out. Just use another bit of shell. Now I need to whisk up the eggs. Do it like this until it's all mixed up. I'm going to put some more eggs in because it's better to make a big batch. Okay, now we're going to move the eggs out of the way. My pan's nice and hot, and I'm just going to add a little knob of butter. I'm just swirling the butter around the pan. When it starts to sizzle, I'm going to pour my eggs in. Now I'm going to pour my eggs in. Keep moving it and use a spatula to scrape the egg off the side. You want it to be silky, but you don't want to undercook it when it's too soggy, and you don't want it to get too dry and clumped up when it's overcooked. Oh, let's go and get my toast. This is the way I like it, not too soggy and not too hard. Now it's done, so push it to one side with the spatula so it's easy to spoon onto your bread. You get rid of your spatula, take it off the heat, and get a few spoonfuls on your plate. This is enough for 3 portions. Okay, now we're going to add some salt and pepper. So there you go, this is my perfect scrambled eggs. See you later guys. Right, now I'm going to give this to Dad.